Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the East Dubuque City Council meeting. It is Monday, September 15th. I ask that you please turn your cell phones off during the meeting and please be quiet during discussions. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. (25-0916) call to order.
Bergmeyer.
Here.
Dagenhart.
Here.
Fleur.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Roby. Taylor.
Here.
Mayor Digman.
Here.
Attorney Hess.
Present.
25-0917 staff reports. City manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. Only thing I'll bring up the progress. We're making progress on the emergency services building, as everybody can see from the outside. Everything we've opened up leads to some other little issue, so we've dealt with a couple of those. We found that we knew there was a cistern on the Montgomery side of the property, but as they were digging out the concrete in the other section, we found that there was at least one cistern below that. And so those pipes had to be taken out and that had to be filled with gravel. That was one of the things. The other is that the sidewalk was being replaced, but we found that the stormwater was infiltrating behind the curb. And so not as part of this project, but we're doing some replacement of curb and gutter around there because it's cheaper to do it while they're there, and some of the stuff is just in bad shape. So I'm sure we'll run into a couple more of those things, but we're also doing excavating. Their work is beginning inside. There have been carpenters at work in the ceiling area in the last week. So most of the other things I would report on are on the agenda tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you. I just have a couple things to touch on. Last Tuesday, we had our city's yearly TIF meeting where we hosted the community's other governing bodies and went over the status of our TIFs. We shared with them all the projects that were funded by TIF this past year, as well as all the current and future projects. A year ago, we sat at the same table and there were no projects to share. We had to inform them, those same people, that previous administrations were using TIF funds to operate day-to-day business of the city and that there was a deficit in the TIF funds. We've come a long way in 1 year. I mean, considering where we were at with our TIFs a year ago to funding all the projects that we are now. So that's a testament to everybody, everybody involved here. So great work. Secondly, considering the most recent division in American politics between the right and the left, I feel it's important to address how we as a council should function when divided on issues. A healthy city council functions with members that show mutual respect even when they disagree. Although there may be times when you differ in opinions or maybe your vision for the city is different, it is important that you listen to your colleagues to try and understand their perspectives. You also need to be willing to have your preconceived thoughts and opinions challenged by others and assume the best intent. Effective councils foster teamwork by identifying shared goals and working towards a consensus. We have a great team in place and a lot of great things happening in the city. Take a step back and look at how much has been accomplished in a relatively short period of time. It's quite amazing. Let's keep the city moving forward.
Thanks, Mayor. And I would just add to that I think we really have a responsibility, all of us, to try to set an example of how we can debate and differ. I like debate. I like to be challenged. I think we come up with a better result when we do that. Many of the conversations that we have, some take place at this table, some take place one-on-one as we work through policy. And my invitation is always out to everyone on the council to come in, talk about anything, and we develop the policy with the input of the individuals around this table and in this city. And I think we can set an example in this world that seems to take everything maybe a little too much to heart, of how you can agree or disagree and move on to the next issue. I'm proud of the fact that the things that we debate about and disagree about are how and in what priority order we should advance the city. And so we can all have different perspectives on how we do that. But the great thing is that we are talking about things that make the city better. And I think in general, we're agreeing on the big issues. It's great to have debate on the smaller issues.
All right, thank you. Alderperson report. Bergmeyer?
Nothing to report this week, Mayor.
Thank you. Degenhardt?
I got one thing I had, and Bob knows about this. I had one of the people that used to live here in East Dubuque by the name of Klaus. They own the post office. And she's got trouble with the floor buckling. And the woman from the post office manages the post office now, Susie. She called me today and she said their water bill hasn't changed at all. They thought it might have been a leak there. So I don't know what the problem is, but the floor is buckling and the doors are not working right over there. So something's going on. And
So-
they're concerned about it, and they talked to Bob, and
I met with them and we talked about anything that might be going on down there in that area. And we have no knowledge of anything that would be impacting the foundation of their building. It's always a strange place when you have a river, the biggest river in the country on one side, and a couple 100-foot bluff on the other side. So,
I thought I'd bring it up because they're really concerned. I said, well, maybe you can get somebody to come in and check, give you an answer.
I think what they told me was that they had done test drilling. They had Terracon, which is the same company we use for that kind of
I
work.
haven't heard back from them yet.
And they've heard. I know they've gotten a report, and that was what they were going after, was that there was water where they don't expect there to be water. But
That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Fluor?
Nothing.
Thank you. Meyer?
I don't have anything tonight.
Thank you. Taylor?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. City Attorney Hess?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Thank you. Police Chief Kavasik? Thank you. Public Works Director Van Ostren?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Fire Chief Heim?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Moving on, 25-0918, speakers from the floor. We do have a couple speakers this evening, Tom and Young O'Connor. If you'd like to step forward, make sure that the microphone's turned on there. There you go.
Well, we took.
You can sit
we
down.
moved in, pardon me?
You can grab a seat there.
you got to speak pretty much into the microphone. So
I'm kind of a loud mouth, so. We moved here in October of 2021, and we had issues with the street there where you come up by Rundy Chevrolet, and where Timberline just got all brand new blacktopping, but nothing was done beyond that. What I was told, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, the city agreed to pick up the maintenance for maybe 50 to 100 feet. I don't know what it is. It goes down the hill, and right before it goes back up, I think it's about 10 feet before you get to Higbee's house. Potholes all the time. It's just really rough, really bad. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I did take pictures if anyone wants to see them, or I could forward them to you if you need them. But first of all, is it the city's responsibility? If no, then I'll go someplace else. But if it is, then do we know when that might be repaired?
So our Public Works Director is here tonight. Tony, you want to give us an update?
Yeah, we were going to do that section of that road this year, but I pushed it off until next year due to Indian Hills sewer construction. So it'll be done next year, that section.
So with the heavy vehicles driving on it for the Indian Hills construction, we would have probably destroyed the road that was as soon as it was put in. So I think it was a good move to put that off.
It makes sense. Do you know it'll be spring or fall or?
It'll have to go through, it won't be Tony's decision on that point. It'll be coming to council, and it has to do with the funding availability that we have
Okay.
at that time, so. Okay.
Thank you. 25-0919 consent agenda.
Still move.
Roll call.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Roby, Taylor,
Aye.
New business. 25-0920, discussion and possible action to amend liquor license for River Bluff Gaming LLC, doing business as Hangry Hobo Pub and Grub in the city of East Dubuque.
So this is the 231 next door to City Hall is being sold. It'll become Hangry Hobo Pub and Grub. So we'll have a little bit different menu coming into town. And so this is transferring the licenses for that.
Any questions for Nick? He's here this evening.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Any questions for the council for Nick at all?
No.
All right.
I vote to move ahead with this.
I'll second
I'm
that.
excited that we're not locking the doors on it.
All right. Roll call.
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer, Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Welcome to East Dubuque.
Twenty-five 0921, discussion and possible action to amend video gaming license for River Bluff Gaming LLC, doing business as Hangry Hobo Pub and Grub in the city of East Dubuque.
Same issue.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
25-0922, discussion and possible action to approve commercial facade improvement award to Finally Our Place in the city of East Dubuque.
So this is a facade project for our place, and so it's for both bars that are in the building. And so you'll see following this is another one, and Shorty's. And so because both addresses are in the same building, and it's two separate businesses, we've determined they're eligible for two separate facade grants, which will be done together for the one building. So basically, they're redoing windows, doors, all new siding. It should look phenomenal. So we're really excited about a building right at the entrance of our main street. And so it's a $114,000 project. And so we would be funding half of the 114. So they would be using up almost all of our maximum on the facade. So
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Meyer,
Aye.
Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Twenty-five 0923, discussion and possible action to approve commercial facade improvement award to Shorty's.
So same issue, other side of the coin, same project.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer.
Twenty-five 0924, discussion and possible action to approve a resolution authorizing initiation of bidding for the Cincinnati Avenue water main in the city of East Dubuque.
So we've been looking at our status on the TIF program budget. And to go back in history a little bit, when I first got here, one of the ways that the city greeted me was with multiple breaks on Cincinnati Avenue, to the point that we called up Jill and said, can you look for emergency funding for us to be able to fix this water main, because it continues to break, and these are very expensive breaks because they're below concrete. And the answer was no, there was nothing there, and frankly, the city didn't have even enough money to pay for our share of a project if it had. And so the strategy moved from emergency repair to emergency crossing our fingers. Now we're in a situation on this main drag where we've now approved 6 facade projects along the main drag, and there's, we believe, 4 more in the works. So we are going to be drawing a lot of people to this downtown, and it becomes even more important that we are able to, whenever something happens down here, we have to shut down the entire downtown. And as I say, these are extremely expensive projects. So we've now gone in these 2 years from having to not even handle an emergency to where we're repairing all of the streets in the city that have the worst record for water main breaks. Oxford being done right now, Montgomery and Hiawatha in the spring, Cincinnati coming up now. And so excited about the ability to get this done. We have enough TIF funding despite doing the emergency services building and the other projects we're working on. And so I would recommend that we do this. We think we can squeeze it in this fall before snow flies, or we'll pray for a mild winter. So you want to?
Can't really tell exactly when it's going to snow, but if it's anything like recent years, we'll be fine. We're hoping we'll have it done in about a month. So we'll get the contractor approved and under agreement in about 4 to 5 weeks, and then he'll have about a month of good weather still to get it done, and then it's going to be a concrete road. So if it needs to extend farther, they have the ability to pour concrete later than asphalt typically would be able to be placed. They just need to make sure they're accommodating the temperature when they're doing it. I talked to a couple contractors prior to this, and they thought they could get it done, and they're interested. So seemed like a good project. If for some reason we need to hold off till next spring, that's an option. But I know the mayor really wanted to get it done this year. So,
Hey, Travis, what's going to be the process? That can be tearing the street out part of it?
This will be, we're going to go for a minimal replacement. So we're going to try and stay within one panel or expand that panel as necessary. So they may saw cut the panel a little wider, depending on where the exact water line actually is, because sometimes you don't actually know until you get down there. But sure, we're going to be setting a new main about maybe 2 feet away from that existing main, and they'll lay the whole main. They'll get it tested, and they'll pressure tested and bacteria tested. And once that passes, they'll come back in and they'll start switching services back over. Laying the main will probably only take 1 to 2 weeks. The services, they can probably get 2 done in a day. So, and if they have more than one crew, then we're talking even faster. So that's a 1 crew situation.
Okay.
They can obviously phase it and do half of it at once, and then start making work a little faster if they have the option to do that, or if they choose to do that. But we're going to set the deadline at the end of the year for construction, and they'll get it done however they need to get it done.
Okay.
Travis bought up all of the electric blankets in Dubuque. No, I'm kidding. Not really. But the other thing is, if sometimes you don't know what's going to happen at the end of a season. So there are times when the contractors want to get one more project and they're still a little hungry. There are times when they're full and they're just going to throw out a number because, boy, if I get it, it'll be great. But we aren't under any requirement to accept a bid that, if there's nobody that really wants to do the project this fall,
Correct. Yep.
then we don't have to go ahead with it.
If the prices are not, up to what we expect, then we can just do another letting in the spring if we have to. it's an option.
Okay.
I definitely think this project's been a long time coming. I mean, considering all the breaks we've had downtown, you know, and it was on the list of streets to get replaced. So to me, it's great that we're moving ahead earlier on the project than what we originally intended to, that we have the funds to do it. So, I mean, I definitely would like to see approval of this project.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. Second that.
Roll call?
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur. Meyer.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Thank you, Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
25-0925, discussion and possible action to approve and authorize mayor and city clerk to certify and publish the annual treasurer's report for the city of East Dubuque for the fiscal year ending 4/30/2025.
So this is a legal requirement to post this in the paper. And first, I'd ask for a motion to amend the numbers. We got more precise numbers from the CPA, and that's on the sheet that was on your desk when you came in. So if somebody would like to offer an amendment to adjust those numbers, and then we could approve the report.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second on the amendments made to the legal notice.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer. Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
All right.
Then vote on them.
Yeah, is there any questions on this at all before we?
It's just a harder to read version of what we went through last week, pretty much.
If not, we need a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer. Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
All right. There will be no executive session tonight, so we will move on to 25-0928. We need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Meyer.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
And Fleur.
Aye.
We are adjourned.